Hello, Andy here, and welcome to my revised project for advanced tech integration. So, for those of you who don't know, I teach high school biology, and for this project, I was looking for some type of technology that could help either me or my students in some way. And you can kind of read about my journey that I posted on Canvas, and it talks about how I came to bookcreator.com. But here I am, and I was thinking about using a PechaKucha style presentation to present this, but instead I'm going to just do a screencast and kind of show you bookcreator.com. And so to start off, I've kind of wanted to try bookcreator.com to present what I've done with my final project. So here we go. So I started this book, and here we have the title, Revised Project by Andy Zadlow. And so as I click here, next page, I have my introduction. So hello and welcome to the revised version of my project for advanced tech integration. Here I will discuss the what, why, how, and who of my project. So I'm not going to read this whole thing out to you, but it was just kind of cool to play with this and just see the different features that bookcreator.com had. So I kind of talk about how did I start my project, and it kind of began with the questionnaires, and it kind of reminded me about my teaching beliefs, and it kind of helped me decide what I wanted in the technology for my classroom, and it kind of helped me pick bookcreator.com. And I'll kind of discuss why in a second, but I want to keep moving on. So the goals for the project were to just find some tech that improved either my teaching or the students' learning. One of the good tips that Derek gave me right away was to make sure that when I'm using some tech, to make sure that it's like improving something. Like, don't just use tech just for the sake of using tech. Rather, if it improves it, then it's a good thing to be using that tech. So I wanted to find something that was going to for sure be an improvement to what I had already been doing. So I kind of looked into bookcreator.com because I just like the idea of having science students be able to create like books, short books, kind of as just a project if they were investigating something. So as I looked into bookcreator.com, there's many great things about it. So students can easily collaborate with groups. So my idea is that students in my classroom, they'd be working in groups of 4 because we have them seated at groups of 4. And so they could easily work on this on group projects. The only thing is that you need to have the premium account for bookcreator.com, which is like $12 a month. And then you get that added feature of collaboration. So more than one person can be looking at the book at the same time. So definitely worth it. If I was to implement it, I would definitely have to get that premium account version. So with bookcreator.com, students can publish their work to an audience. So I found this very attractive in that students can show their work to other peers, and in a way they could be teaching other students what they learned. So I thought that was really cool. Students can be super creative. With bookcreator.com, there's many different settings that you can do. And if you just go in here, you can see, let me show you a couple things. So let me pull over this. So if I was making a new book, you can add an item, and there's all different types of things that you can do here. You can select an image from the web. You can upload an image from your computer. You can use your camera and take a picture of yourself, or you can take a video of yourself. You can draw, you can add text, and you can record an audio message. So there's just all different types of ways for students to get creative here. There's shapes that you can add. You can add files, or you can embed videos. So there's just tons of ways for students to get creative with this app. So the other good part about bookcreator.com is that students can demonstrate their understanding. They can show what they know. I think it's just a good way to present that to me and to other students. Also engaging reluctant writers. So say you have a student who isn't necessarily the biggest, isn't a fan of writing too much. Well, with bookcreator.com, you have so many options. Like you can do audio, and you can do images or videos, and you don't necessarily have to add in so much text. So I think it's a good way to get students rolling on writing, which is very important in science. So a few of the things that came up for this app that were bad. So there will be a learning curve. It's going to take some time for students to adjust to something new, as with everything. But I guess it's not necessarily bad in that they're just going to be learning something new. And so it's kind of on me to be able to teach students how to utilize this. So I don't know if I'll be creating a tutorial for like a video for them to kind of show them the different features of Book Creator. I think that would be the best rather than just doing it live. So still have to think about that part. Another bad part of bookcreator.com is that it just takes some effort to open up your Chromebook. Usually I just have these Neon Expo markers, and the groups of students, they write on their tables. So just that extra step of taking out their computer, it could be a small barrier for my kids. And then the other thing is that there is that cost of $12 a month, so it's pretty cheap, but you know, things add up, and I mean, as long as I can get a lot out of it, it's definitely worth it. So the next part, how does bookcreator.com align with my teaching beliefs? So during the stage 2 of this project, I just talked about how important it was for my constructivist kind of like teaching belief. I was just saying how I like really want to be in touch with that, and I kind of talked about that in stage 2, and I also talked about bookcreator.com a lot. But Nick gave me some really good feedback in that I didn't really connect the two. Like, how does bookcreator.com like link to constructivism? And I thought about this, and I think it gives students a lot of choice in that they can put down whatever information they want. They can have all these different ways that they want to present that information. Like I said, they can do videos, audio, text, anything like that, and it's a way for them to just kind of just show what they've learned. So I just kind of wanted to make that clear because that was something that I didn't really address in stage 2. So moving along, theme, peer feedback. So during this whole project, I was very intentional about taking feedback from others and kind of applying it and using that as a jumping board for my research for this project. So I got a lot of good feedback from Miranda, Nick, Kristen, and Derek. So I want to kind of just check on that a little bit. So I think, so Miranda had some good feedback for me, talking about how Book Creator has the text-to-speech feature. So when you click on the read to me option, basically Book Creator is going to read out whatever you wrote. So I think that's very helpful for like accommodations. So one thing that she said was a question that she had was grading. Like that's definitely something that I need to think about, even though it's not the funnest thing to think about, but I still need to think about it. How would I grade a student's project from bookcreator.com? So Nick had that feedback about how does bookcreator.com align with constructivism, and I told about that. I discussed that. And then Kristen had some good feedback, and she was just wondering about like what if a student is not a very good efficient typer. So for this, that is a very very good critique of it. And yeah, as I looked into it, you can record audio messages like I showed. So if you go, like I said, if you go into media here and you hit record, you can record some things rather than type. So I think with that you can kind of see that you're definitely accommodating those that are not the best typers. So next, I want to talk about some of the challenges for this project. So I think one of the first challenges was simply starting this project. I think it was nice in that I had so much choices, but it was tough because I was just thinking along so many different ways, and I finally decided I wanted to look more into bookcreator.com. So that was the first challenge. The second one was I'm not currently teaching, so I don't have a class where I can try any of this stuff out in real time. So that was just like kind of like I wish I had a class to try it out. But challenge number 3 is the course being a little bit shorter. It's a summer course. I just kind of wish I had more time, but this is the revised project. It's not the final project, so I can continue with my investigation into this app. Challenge number 4, looking back, I kind of think that it would have been fun to look into 3D printers. So I'll just have to do that on my own. But those were some of the challenges. And finally, what is left to improve? So first off, I'd like to try it in a classroom. So I kind of already mentioned that. So I would like to think, improvement number 2 is I would like to think about what other lessons I could use bookcreator.com besides human organ systems. So as far as implementation, I was thinking that doing it on using bookcreator.com with human organ systems would be a really good topic to do to utilize this piece of tech. So what I did was I kind of tried doing like a little bit of a student sample with how they would do human organ systems. So I just picked the respiratory system. So here I just added a title. So you go into, you do this plus icon, you add text. Here I just added an image from the web. And if you click to the next page, you can see that I've embedded a video. To do that, you just do the plus, more, and then you can embed the video there. Here's an audio clip that I recorded, just talking about breathing as a function of the respiratory system. So here so there you can just hear me kind of talking about breathing. So pretty cool stuff about how you can, I think students will be successful in this because I think it's pretty intuitive and it didn't take me very long, but I'll still have to show them kind of the ins and outs of this app. And so the last thing I wanted to mention was that I also just started kind of getting a lesson plan, like a little bit of a modified lesson plan. So this is in regards to the organ system lesson that I was talking about. And so I'm just kind of going through what the teacher does and the students do. And yeah, I think I've got a good start on just kind of creating a lesson. So I'll be really excited to try this out when the school year starts. So yeah, that's about it. I hope I was a little bit over 15 minutes, so I tried to be as brief as I could. But yeah, this was really, I really enjoyed doing this because it was something that I wanted to do rather than just something that the teacher assigned. So it was really cool, and I just look forward to continuing on with this project, continuing on learning about bookcreator.com, and hopefully utilizing it in my biology classroom. So thanks again so much for listening, and hope you have a good rest of your day or night. All right, take care.